There are already thousands of troops deployed from the National Guard, which is the reserve force for the U.S. Army. They're in more than 20 states across the U.S. trying to quell protests, but these forces have been requested by the cities or states themselves. However, a U.S. law passed in the 19th century lays out circumstances when the government in Washington, D.C. can intervene without state authorization. The Insurrection Act says the approval of governors isn't required when the president determines the situation in a state makes it impossible to enforce U.S. laws, or when citizens' rights are threatened. The law was passed in 1807 to allow the president to call out a militia to protect against hostile incursions of the Indians. And it was subsequently extended to allow for the use of the U.S. military in domestic disturbances and to protect civil rights. Another law passed in 1878 requires congressional authorization for domestic military use, but a legal expert told the BBC that the Insurrection Act was sufficient legal authority on its own for the president to deploy the army. It is widely accepted that the president would have legal grounds to employ the military without asking for approval from the states in the current circumstances. The key point, says Robert Chesney, a University of Texas law professor, is that it is the president's determination to make. The governors do not have to request his help.